I sure hope this video doesn't bomb. Don't go away. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fat Guy Productions. I am Paul, coming to you as always from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, and I'm an idiot. Okay, I'm sorry. Look, I'm a freely admitted moron. Today I'm building a beach bomb, and so my opening, I hope I don't bomb. I know it's a terrible joke. I'm stupid, but I crack myself up. I can't help myself. Anyhow, I am doing a beach bomb today, and you may be thinking to yourself, I think Paul has done a beach bomb before, but I haven't. I have not. Look, what I did before is a replica rear-loading beach bomb from Bright Vision. Today, I'm doing a real beach bomb. I haven't had one. At least not in this iteration of my diecast life. I've had one in the past, but I didn't have one now, and I finally got a hold of one that needs a restoration, so here we go. I have been looking forward to doing a beach bomb since, well, way before I did the replica beach bomb from Bright Vision. I just didn't have one, and I'm refusing to buy an overpriced piece of junk toy. I'm not going to do it. So finally, a good candidate fell into my lap, and here we go. One thing about the beach bombs is the posts are so small. Okay, I'm just pre-warning you. If you're going to do one, you're going to need to be extra careful with drilling the heads off the rivets and drilling them out and tapping them, the whole 9 yards. You will blow out your post in a blink of an eye. You're going to need to use the 172 screws, just because these things are so thin and tiny, okay? So anyhow, I'm going to use shielded drilling in my Vix Bits, and I'm going to drill the rivets off and get this car apart. We can see what we have to work with. Now, you've seen me use a little persuasion on taking cars apart. A million times you've seen it. I really haven't had a problem with it, but like, for example, the beach bomb has a little exhaust pipe sticking out the back. So if you're going to use your persuader on getting your casting apart, just be careful that you don't do some damage, like snap one of those off, okay? Can you recover from it? Yeah, it's going to be a real nightmare, though. So just be careful how you pry and where you pry. All right, so the body's in decent shape. The glass is just non-existent. The interior's fine. The base is fine. This is a good candidate for a restoration. One of the best things about using Vix Bits is their ability to prep the end of the post. You take your Vix Bit, put it over the end of the post, and start to drill, and it will clean off all of the edges and dimple the post for you. It's the perfect way to prep your posts for drilling. All right, there's just nothing else for it except to just push ahead. We're going to drill out these posts, and all I can suggest to you is be as careful as you can, hold your breath, say a prayer, and maybe you can drill these out cleanly without blowing out the post. Make sure your bit is nice and centered, drill slow, and just, really kind of stay focused here, because these posts are so thin you'll go right out the sidewall. So just have all your wits about you as you're doing this. Now, I'm going to use short screws here, and I'll tell you why. It's because I'm a chicken. I drilled deep enough into the posts that I knew the short screws would work. I knew I could screw the car back together, and I didn't want to push my luck. So once I felt like I was deep enough for short screws and maybe short screws with a washer to do the job, I stopped drilling. Anyhow, the posts are drilled out. I've put a little oil in them, and I'm just tapping them out using my tap handle from Bright Vision. And when I'm done, I put a screw in there for a couple reasons. First of all, to make sure that it's going to take and I'm going to be able to bind up the car. I don't want to find out later that it's not deep enough or something like that. So I do that. And I also do it to keep the post hole clean when I'm doing the stripping. So I go ahead and run the screws in now just to keep it from any surprises from creeping in later on. All right, so everything is prepped and ready to go, so we can go ahead and turn our attention to the stripper. I'm just using this crap citrus strip. It's too thick. It's not orange like it used to be. It's just junk, and it takes like 72 hours for the car to sink down into it. So we'll plop the van into the stripper, let it sink, and we can go ahead and get ready for the next part. So this is a beach bomb. It's a beach bomb, and I want it to look great when I'm done. And the body just wasn't there, so this called for a trip down to the zinc plating setup. I put on some zinc plating. This is going to allow me to polish things up really, really nicely. Now, I'll tell you, I really want to get into nickel plating because that will allow me to basically get like a chrome-like finish. I think that'll be fantastic. Be that as it may, I went ahead, I threw some zinc plating on here, I polished everything up, and then I went to the paint booth and I painted this Spectraflame green. Why am I telling you this instead of showing you this? Well, because I'm a moron, and somehow I didn't click record, or I don't know what happened, but I don't have the footage. So I painted the casting in Spectraflame green. I went really light, really light. I did not want that green to overpower the zinc finish that I had all polished up underneath it. So honestly, I was forced to clear coat this one because I couldn't put enough coats on where I could get to the wet coats and get that beautiful glossy finish. So, just a couple coats of the green clear coat and let that dry. Anyhow, while that's drying, I can go ahead and turn my attention to the base. I gave it a hit with the brass bristle brush, and that's not really working very well, so it's time for the Flitz Calcium Rust and Lime. I'll give that a few mists in a jar, let it sit for just a few minutes. If you let it go too long, it's going to blacken on you. So I just mist it for a little bit to help get rid of some of the oxidation, and then I'll take it and go wash it off. Okay, so once I'm back from washing the base off, we'll go ahead and dry it. It's not going to look great. Okay, but what it's going to do is it's going to allow the brass bristle brush to really bring this thing back to life. So much so that you could just brush it and be done with it. Now, I won't do that, but you could if you wanted to. So anyhow, I've washed it off. We're going to brush it out, and then we'll go ahead and we're going to polish this sucker. All right, my beloved Flitz polish. A little dabble do ya. Put some on the base, smear it in with your finger, and get your rotary tool out with a buffing wheel and start to buffing. One of the keys here is to make sure that you buff from many different angles so that the fibers of the buffing wheel can get into all the little detail and nooks and crannies and whatnot. Buff this thing out as much as you want, get it as shiny as you want, and then we'll go ahead and rub off the leftover Flitz. I'll just briefly wipe this down with the blue shop towel and get rid of some of the leftover flits. Then I'm going to break out a nice microfiber towel. And the nice thing about the microfiber towel is it's going to bring out the shine, and those little fibers get down into the nooks and crannies. So it makes it really easy to shine this thing up. Okay, so I'm happy with the way the base is looking. I'm going to treat this with some Renaissance wax, but before I do, I might as well address the tires now. Now, this is cap style wheels, so the X-Acto knife, we slide it between the back part of the wheel and the cap, get it in there, give it a little twist, and the cap will pop right off. Love these things. I love them so much that despite this casting having a problem with one of the wheels, I'm not going to change it out. And I'll explain that here in a second. Okay, all the cap wheels are off. I've got my Renaissance wax, and this is just a protective waxy layer. And you just kind of rub it in with your finger. Just get a glob onto your finger, smear it in, make sure you get all of the surfaces. And this is going to keep the oxygen from deteriorating all the hard work that you put onto your base. It's going to keep it nice and shiny. So just rub it in with your fingers. Let it dry for a minute, just while you're cleaning off your hands. And then go back to your microfiber towel and polish that all out again. And you're going to get a really great, shiny, happy looking base. And it's going to stay that way for a very, very long time. So you remember I mentioned something about there being a problem with the wheels. Well, yeah, there is. I'm going to replace the wheels, and yeah, I briefly thought about using large wheels in the back, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use 4 medium wheels here. Still the nice chrome wheels because I just love them. But that's what I'm going to use, cap style. And here's the issue. On one of the fronts, the back part is broken. You see it right there? It's broken off. Normally, I would replace that. I would just cut these things away. I'd use the hot swap hubs and put hub style wheels in front. I don't think I need to do that. Plus, what I'm doing here is non-permanent. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the caps on, the new caps on, and if it looks fine and rolls fine and everything is good, I'm just going to leave it. But if later I'm sad about it or don't like it, I can always change, put hot swap hubs on and new wheels. But for now, I might as well just leave well enough alone. All right, so I've got the new wheels on, and everything needs a little bit of an alignment. So I've got my alignment tool, and I'm just tweaking the wheels to kind of level things out and make sure that this rolls nice, and then I'll be done with the base. Gauzy, you say? Well, no, not today. No gauzy today, because look, this is a brand new piece of glass. It's picture perfect. I got it on eBay. And, there's just no need. Why take a bunch of extra steps that you don't need to take? So I'm not going to. So we just pop the glass in, and then we can go ahead and drop in the interior, then the base, and screw all this together, and we'll see what we have. First of all, I got to tell you, I'm super happy with the green. It came out exactly the way I envisioned it. I love it. I couldn't be happier with my color choice. So again, also on the screws, I had pre-planned to use short 172 screws, so that made putting this casting together super easy. I did use washers just to make sure everything would snug up nice and tight. And it's all ready to go. All I have to do is add these reproduction surfboards that I got online, and we'll just pop them into their holders, and we can call this casting done. All right, there it is, my beach bum, and I am so happy with the color. I wish you could have seen me painting it. Don't ask. Just don't ask, okay? Sometimes when you're the one-man band, you're gonna hit a sour note, okay? But I love the color. It came out fantastic. It's just what I see when I think of a VW microbus, that or maybe like an orange. So yeah, I'm super happy with the way this came out, and it's gonna be a prized part of my collection. I hope you loved the video. If you did, please give it a giant thumbs up, click subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss one of my videos. As always, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I love to hear from you guys. All right, that's going to do it. I hope the rest of your day is stupendously, wonderfully amazing. Until next time, this is Paul from Fat Guy Productions saying, be good.